Hey everybody, so welcome back to North Fork. Thanks for joining us today. So today we're going to be working on the Allis Chalmers 6G loader that we have behind me here. Last fall, when I was using it to put a French drain in here in the yard, I ran the track off.
This ain't good. Just ran the track off.
I was just trying to turn too tight, and the track's loose on it anyway. It's old and tired machine, and the track rolled off. I tried to put it on that day when it happened, but I just couldn't get it back on, and it's sat here ever since.
All right, that's half the battle. It's draining now, so put you under there, see if we can get the other backside on.
So it's time that we get this thing up in the air, see if we can get the track back on it, and then get this out of Mama's yard, because she doesn't like it sitting right here in front of the house. So what we're going to do today, I just got home from work here, so I only got a little bit of time, but I'm going to try to get it fired up. It hasn't rained here in a little bit. I got the battery chargers on it right now, and we're going to fire it up and see if I can lift the front end up in the air, get that blocked up, because it won't stay up in the air because the hydraulics are old and everything like that. So see if we can get it blocked up in the air, and then probably this weekend, I'll work on getting some bottle jacks underneath the back end of it, see if I can get that up in the air, jacked up, blocked up, and then we'll try to get the track back on the idler in the back. So let's see what we can get done. All right, so we got the 24-volt battery charger on here. It's looking like it's been charging here for a little bit, so hopefully it should fire up. Get the flowers that Mama has planted on top of here. And I had previously tried to raise this up and block this up, but the hydraulics just didn't hold it, so I'm gonna have to put blocks underneath to try to hold that up in the air. So let's see if it'll fire up here. I'm gonna block this up. You can take your earmuffs off.
block. In here. Daddy, I am good helper, Daddy.
Alright, so I got some cinder blocks in here. They're nice and solid. Alright, so I'm going to put one of these 2x12s in here. That's 6x6. Once I release the pressure, that should come down and rest on that. Right in here is a main frame that comes out. So I'm going to get a big jack stand and put on that. That'll, again, help support this side. Now it's supported on that part of the frame. Got a piece of plywood underneath there. I'm not sure how long it's going to hold there, but might crack it and break it. Since I've been dealing with that just the past couple minutes, this has settled down. The hydraulics, again, won't hold it. So down where this is resting on this, nice and solid. So I got 2 points here. Should be pretty good. So I'll show you guys here. So now we got the front end up in the air. So I just have to get some bottle jacks underneath here and jack up this back end. All right, I'm gonna let it down here and see if it'll stay, if it's in a good spot, how well it's supported and all that kind of stuff. So, see what happens. Creaking of the boards is always interesting. Every little creak, you're on edge, waiting for something to break so you jump out of the way. All right, so I got it blocked on the draw bar right here. I've got the jack still under it. I took a little bit of pressure off of it, and I got another set of blocks over here underneath the final drive box. So I think that should be good, at least so we can work on it. You can see that the track is up in the air. The whole right side of it is up in the air, so we got to get this pushed back underneath here. This is the, of course, that's the way it happens, is this is the main link for this chain. I want to try to work this track back on without popping that main link out, but if I have to, I'll pull that out. Of course, it had to happen when it was exactly down underneath, but that's an option. I just have to rotate the chain all the way around. All right, so we got the backhoe out here. We're going to try to chain the track to the bucket of the backhoe and see if we can pull it. I could use come-alongs and chain binders and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to try to use the backhoe to pull it, take the slack out, and get it back up onto these teeth. If I can at least get it started, I should be able to start the track loader and maybe put it in reverse and run it back on. So that's kind of my plan right now. Let's see how that works.
Like, what you going to use this for?
I'm going to use a chain and put it on here.
Oh, how are you going to do that? With this chain?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hook this up in here.
Oh. And you have someone there, Daddy. Oh, there. They really going to this. Daddy. And they move it, and they see the walk, and now I throw it. Where this chain going to go? On the backhoe? Is this going to go on the backhoe, Daddy?
Yeah, let's see if we can
Hook that up.
move it.
Huh?
I said let go of it.
Hey, I
like the chain binders?
Hey, how are you going to do that? Where are you going to hook that?
I'm trying to hook it right here. As I started pulling with the backhoe, the whole track loader is rolling backwards. It's on a hill, and I don't have any way to move it, so see the blocks are cracking, and it's not a good situation here. So you can see the jack underneath is canted. You hear everything cracking. So right now I got the backhoe up against it, but I'm not sure that's going to hold it. That scare you?
Not as bad as I expected it to.
It started rolling off when I was pulling up here, so it was pulling it more this way.
Okay.
I'm thinking if I hook down underneath and try to pull up on it and get the slack, so I was just trying to get in as close as possible. But if I pull up on it, is it going to pull it off the blocks over there? I just got to be real careful. Backhoe just has power in the hydraulics that all right, so we got the track rotated enough that I can get in here and maybe pound this pin out. So let's try that. It's actually coming out pretty easy.
I was gonna say, is that what I see? And it is. This kid could spend all day on the bike.
Yeah. All right, so got the track lined up on the bottom, and it's on the top. So now I just need to get the two sides connected together. So I think I'm going to try to take a ratchet strap or a chain binder and run around it and try to winch those two sides together. So let's give that a shot. All right, so last night as I was working on this, the car got full. So I did record that short little clip with my phone of moving the loader. The problem I was running into is I was trying to pull that together. I needed the bottom track or the top track to go one more tooth, and I couldn't get it out enough to get it one more tooth on that on the drive wheel to get it connected. So I ended up putting the come-alongs on, the binders and the chains, and driving it enough that I could get it up to the top here, so I could get it easier, that I'm not fighting myself against the tooth on the drive wheels. So I'm going to continue pulling this together and try to get that pin in there. Alright, looks like if I can hold that there and get the pin in, we'll be in good shape. It's also got these spacers that go in there, so I got to figure out how they go. It all just kind of fell apart. Alright, so these washers, they look like they go in here. I'm not sure if you can see this. Right here, there's a groove in this track. Right up in here. And this washer slides in there. There's a little spacer in there. So need to get that in there, so I'm going to use some grease to hold it in place. I've already done the other side. Already done this side. And then I got to put it all back together. So let's get that done. Alright, so I got these back in here. I'll put a little grease on the pin. Hopefully it'll slide right in. Just like that. Alright, there it is. Now we should be good to go. Alright, so there's the track all back together. Get the pin in there. Everything's back. So I do have to bump this head just a little bit to get this chain out of here. But I'll show you what the problem is here while this track came off. You can see how loose it is, and when you turn it was popping off the back. You know, the whole machine is old, the undercarriage is worn. So this is the adjustment here. This screw goes in and out, and put a wrench on right here. There's flats to turn it, and that's what adjusts the track and takes up all the slack. As you can see, this is out pretty far, and this adjustment is all the way at the end. So there's a bolt right here, and it's right up against that bolt. So the track is adjusted as far as it can go. Really, the track needs replaced. You know, a good machine, and that's what you look at doing, is replacing the undercarriage and getting this track back in working condition. But this machine's so old, and it's so worn that it's not worth replacing. Let alone there's not parts for this. There's not track parts. There's not sprockets. There's not the idlers or anything. Everything would have to be custom made, and it's just not worth it for this machine. So I have thought about grinding these bolts off and or taking them out and welding this plate onto here, and possibly putting a spacer between here to try to space this out a little bit, get a little more adjustment out of here, another inch or two, just so this track doesn't come off. So I may do that in the future, but you know, for right now, if I'm just careful with it, and I should be able to use it as it is, put some trails in here this summer. So glad I got this back together. But you know, that might be something to do in the future here. So this is a good reason why you shouldn't use concrete blocks to block anything up. I knew that, I've been told that, that's something that's been drilled into me from the time I was young, but that's what I did. I didn't have enough blocks, big blocks, 6x6s or anything to support this, and I should have done something different. But you know, this was a big safety hazard, and I shouldn't have done that. So learn from my mistakes. Those blocks broken, and it could have been luckily everything was back together, but it could have been pretty tragic. All right, so it only took me about 8 months to get that back together. It was about August last year, September sometime in that time frame when I ran that track off. So it's been sitting here in the yard, so Mama, she'll be happy to get it out of here. And so I'm going to start it up here, and we're going to go park it somewhere else, and pretty soon we're going to put it to work. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.